Hi, thanks for joining me again today. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's close to our hearts. Many clients and many people often ask us, what's the direction of the rand the next week, maybe the next month, even a year. And we always answer that it's impossible for us to predict the direction of the rand against the dollar or euro or yen or any of these currencies. Even the clever people like the fund managers and the economists battle to correctly predict the rand in the short term. They also don't try to do that. But we do have data to look at what happened over the long term. So let's just look at some of the data that we do have, and we get this from currency partners. They every now and again give us long-term and even short-term direction which they think the rand might move. And here we can see since 1994, now this is the rand against the dollar from about 2 rand to about 20 rand to the dollar, and on this axis we have the time frame. So from 1994 up until about their prediction as 2025, we can see that on average the annual decline has been 5.8%, or let's call it 6%. We see that it hasn't happened in a straight line, even though the decline has been steady over this time. But since 1995, we actually saw quite a large blowout from about 3 rand 20 to about 11 rand. It was actually at some point touched 12 rand. And then against all odds, it strengthened back to about 5 rand 50. And for 6 years, it actually held this value quite nicely. There was a small blowout in 2009 when we saw the credit crunch in America. But then from about 2011 to about 2017, we again saw quite a rapid decline. Again, after that, we saw the rand strengthening. And from about 2018, we actually saw that it declined quite a bit again. Now, currency partners did this study in 2021. They predicted the rand was going to strengthen, and it actually did strengthen to about down there. And you can see they predict that over the next couple of years, it will follow that 6% decline. Now, the question a lot of people ask is, what's the reason for the rand's decline against major currencies? Now, traditionally, it's been the differential between our inflation rate and our major trading partners' inflation rate. Now, I don't know if you can tell me who our major trading partners currently is. I think it's maybe Russia and China and some of those countries, other emerging market countries. But the dollar used to be, or the USA used to be, our major trading partner. And we saw that our interest rates were quite high and their interest rates were quite low, and the differential between that gave the steady decline of about 6%. What we've seen happening now of late is that the interest rates in America actually had quite a steep rise, and the inflation also took off. So there's not such a big discrimination between our inflation rate and their inflation rate. So we can expect the rand to stay basically strong over the next couple of months if we just look at that. Also, many people always thought that it's the political or the economic situation in our country, but it's not really that. We see currently that the Americans are trying to keep the dollar weak a bit for their own imports. So this has a strengthening effect on our rand as well. But what we can say is that when we invest offshore, we don't do it for 6 months or even for a year. We do it basically for at least 5 years and longer. And when we look at the longer term tendency of the rand, we see that the rand steadily loses value to the tune of about 6%, especially against the dollar. So I hope this has helped you a little bit in making decisions, or not getting overly worried when the rand strengthens for a while or when it loses a lot of value. It normally will revert back to the mean of about 6% over the long term.